Yeah. Doesn't look like you are, but I do here. Okay. And then that takes us immediately to the roadmap status update. All right, I'm just gonna go through the items here and we can briefly discuss what the status of them might be. I think we've got a couple here that are in this kind of needs investigation state. I know this one came up again this week in a thread that I saw. I'm not sure if Dan Makuza will be able to join us today, but I think the primary issue was that not all of the Java build packs have moved over to Docker Hub as their primary distribution point. And so there's still some references to GCR related things, which was causing some confusion. I think someone went to go pull a build pack and it pulled some stuff from Docker Hub and some other stuff from GCR. But I can catch up with Dan and see about what the status of this might be and see if we can get this across the finish line before the end of the year. I know it's been outstanding for quite a long time. And then we've got this other one here about reloadable process types. I think the only thing that's left here is this Ruby issue. And there's nothing blocking this. This is just a bandwidth issue. If we can get the time to do this, we will. We just haven't had the time recently. Also, if folks are interested in contributing to Ruby, this is a great place to start.
Yeah, we are not too much interested in Ruby actually, but maybe would be a good chance to get the hands on the reload stuff. So I haven't looked into this before, so maybe I can ask in my team if someone might be interested in.
Yeah.
Even though we are not really interested in Ruby, it's not like an approved language in our company. So
what about .NET Core?
No.
No, not .NET Core either. Okay, because I had another. I have an idea for us redoing the way we do .NET Core reload, but that's more native to that ecosystem. But yeah, if you're not interested in doing it, then I'll save that for another day or someone who maybe is interested in helping us on that front. Okay, so then moving on, we'll go to the in progress ones. I'll start here from the bottom. We've got implement dependency RFC 03 through 6. I think this might be done. Does someone on the call want to give us a status update? Maybe Victoria or Forrest?
Yeah, so this is, for all intents and purposes, done. The teeny is still the only open issue, and I have an open RFC proposing that we. I have an open RFC proposing that we move teeny to using a precompiled static binary from upstream and an open implementation ready for whenever that RFC is merged.
Great. It'll be nice to see this finished before the end of the year. I'll leave it for now, and in January, when we look at this item, we'll check it off then. All right, reduce build complexity of .NET runtimes.
This is approaching being done soon as well. As soon as we sort of remove the backwards compatibility aspect that we have set up in the build pack, then that's when we can kind of close this out. But until then, it's open until, yeah.
Cool. And then we've got Yarn Berry support here. I know this is something that Tim has been working on. I don't know. I don't think I saw Tim join the call, so I don't know if we're going to get a status update here, other than he's been working on it. Hopefully, we'll see some more forward progress on this soon. That Jammy Builder stuff, I think that the full builder is maybe entirely complete. It looks like PHP is done. I don't know if PHP has been added to the builder yet. That's probably something that's going to happen today.
Yeah, so the tiny and base Jammy builders are done. And I believe that, like you said, the full builder is on the precipice of being done. As soon as PHP has been added, it will be fully backwards compatible with the Bionic base builder. And then we will have made the full upgrade to being Jammy compatible.
Okay. I'll look into that. Let's see what's going on there.
It should be pretty straightforward, just adding PHP to the builder's order grouping. It should be as easy as that. And then I think maybe there's like a smoke test or something that maybe needs to get added.
Okay, no problem.
You can always reach out to me if you have any questions around adding stuff to the builder as well.
All right, remote debug. The .NET Core one was finished. I think these are all open. I think, now that we're kind of getting the Jammy dependency work out of the way here at the end of the year, this is the type of stuff we might want to pick up in the new year. So there's a whole bunch of language families here, all of them with completely different debugging support. So if you're interested in, I don't know, implementing Node.js remote debugging, wink, wink, Philip, then maybe, I don't know, contribute a PR for that particular functionality. I know the team would appreciate it.
Yeah, probably not something we will tackle this year still, but maybe next year then. Node.js, we are definitely interested.
Awesome. We've got default behavior for Buildpacks set language ecosystems. I know there's just some, I think they're outlined down here. There's just some odds and ends. And I think that the maintainers, as they get bandwidth here towards the end of the year, probably can just take a look through this and make a determination as to whether or not changes should be made in the specific build packs for the things that are mentioned. I don't think it's that many. I think it's a handful of environment variables that I think in most cases, it's just to change the value from an override to a default. So it's worth looking at these things. It's another item we can close off at the end of the year. And I just don't think there's that much work involved. And then lastly here, this secure runtime environments. I think that this is done effectively with the work that we did related to Jammy. We've basically done everything that's necessary for this RFC, and then we actually have testing infrastructure that asserts that now. So I think that this is done, and I could probably go ahead and close this out as implemented after this meeting. All right, so this brings us to planned items. We've got this one here related to Python dependencies. This seems like this is probably done.
That is definitely done.
Oh, thanks, Sophie. Okay, cool. I will move this into like a in progress state then, or done state, I guess, and we can, or I'll put it in progress now, and then I'll go ahead and have the Python maintainers close the actual RFC issue. That should move it over to done. And we've got here this implement Paketo community HTTP function build pack. This is on my long list of stuff to do as a steering committee member. I need to change the kind of RFC definitions to include a like will not implement state or something along those lines, so that we can just say that this isn't going to happen, at least not in the way that it's written. It's just eating up space on the roadmap here, and we have no intention of actually implementing this as defined. But I'll get around to that hopefully as my time frees up towards the end of the year. And then we've got some auto-generate reference documentation. I know this is something that we've wanted to do for a long time. With the jammy stuff kind of ending, it maybe is something worth considering putting relatively high on the roadmap for next year. But yeah, we'd love to hear some feedback from users about the documentation, especially stuff like configuration parameters, things we could be doing a better job of exposing and providing information about. So specifically, I think this is mostly talking about like environment variables. We have some documentation that exists on the website, but it's all human documented. So there are definitely instances where the environment variables behavior has maybe changed in a subtle way, and then that documentation maybe was not updated, or we've just missed an entire environment variable that exists in the build pack and has functionality, but it's actually not documented on the website. The idea behind this would just be, we should just have some sort of ability to generate that documentation so that humans don't make mistakes. So we'll see. This would be great to see happen in the new year. And then lastly here, define an image and dependency resolution policy. I need to catch up with Dan Nkuza about this one. I don't think there's anything that's pressing or urgent because the timeline, if I'm not mistaken, is 2 years. But it's worth us looking to see what we have currently in our registries, both Docker Hub and GCR, to see if there's anything that's already out of scope. We're coming up on, I guess it will be the third. Is it the third or is it the second? Time's flying. Is it the second anniversary of Paketo coming up in like March? No one knows. Okay. Anyway, there's probably images on there that maybe are reaching the end of this lifetime.
Probably third, Ryan, because I've heard Paketo being mentioned since day one of my time here, and that's a little over 2 years. So
cool. That's what I thought. I just can't remember. Feel like, yeah, I've been on the Zoom call giving this update for a while. Yeah, and time's flying. All right, so that covers the remainder of items for the roadmap for 2022. And this seems like a good moment for me to call out another item here, which is that we are starting to solicit feedback for the 2023 roadmap. So I have this discussion that I just posted this morning. I'll drop it in the notes here. Whoa.
Okay, it was not just showing weird stuff for me.
Yeah, that's odd. Okay, I'm gonna just put that here. This is the 2023 roadmap discussion. Please feel free to leave comments, upvote items. Our goal is that at some point in January, we'll lock this thread and kind of synthesize the details of what people have talked about and requested, and we'll figure out what the themes for 2023 look like. I've mentioned here both the link, there's a link to last year's discussion thread and also the roadmap blog post. if folks are interested in trolling both of those for ideas and stuff we didn't get to, but that's still important. Make sure you bring them up here again. Okay, so that covers that. And I think we then move on to the outstanding RFCs. So I've got outstanding RFCs here. There's only a couple. The first one here is this RFC to remove Ruby from the Jammy full stack. Is this another my failure to merge situation?
No, I need to give it an approval. I guess you have one, but I should take another look and make sure I'm good. Sorry about that.
Okay, great. No worries. Okay, great. And then the only other one here is what Forrest mentioned, this new RFC for Teeny. Forrest, do you want to walk us through this?
Yeah, it's pretty lightweight. Currently, Teeny is being built and hosted on Paketo, like by Paketo. However, Teeny creates a static binary release, so there doesn't appear to be any reason for us to need to build that, and we could just pull it from upstream. So I'm just proposing that that's what we do. I have a proof of concept that shows that the static binary works, and then I actually have a full-blown PR of the implementation of this RFC, of pulling from upstream and all that, linked in a comment here. So pretty much as soon as this gets approved, that can be merged and this will be done.
Awesome. This is under utility. So utilities maintainers, please take a look. Okay, that covers, that covers the outstanding RFCs. I think the next agenda item here is CMB updates and questions. I don't know if there were any updates this week. Can anyone on the team want to mention something they saw or thought might be important? Doesn't sound like it. Okay. And then moving on, we've got our project update. The only item here is the 2023 roadmap discussion. Let me move this link down here then. Any other project updates that folks wanted to mention? It doesn't sound like it. All right, then the last item here, any open questions or discussion topics? Great. I think we've reached the end of this meeting then. Take a look at that discussion, leave us some feedback, and we'll see you here next week. Or wait a second, did we decide that we were going to cancel the remainder of meetings? I can't remember what David wrote. Sophie's saying that she doesn't think so. All right, well, if the next meeting or any of the remainder ones are canceled, then I'm sure David will post. He should be back with us next week. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll play it by ear. Maybe see you next week. All right, folks, have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.